This video is going to show you guys how to make any type of amount of rice perfectly. So I don't care if you're making a small little teapot of rice, or if you're making a big gigantic pot of rice. I'm going to show you guys how to make the rice so that it's perfectly cooked and it's not overcooked or mushy or too hard, okay? Hey guys, so welcome to another episode of Miss Goodie's Kitchen. Today I'm going to show you guys how to make the perfect white rice or perfect rice. Alright, so here I have some boiling water. I'm using like a small pot. This is about 2 cups of water. And then to this I'm going to add about half of a tablespoon to a tablespoon of melted butter. That's just something I like to add to mine. And then if you want, you can add some salt, or what I like to add, if I can find it, is some adobo. I like to add adobo because it has salt in it, but it has a little bit of other flavors in it. But if you want to just keep it, it's still going to come out white, but if you just want to keep it simple and you don't have that, just add some salt. Alright, so now I'm going to show you guys how to wash your rice. So now I'm going to show you guys how I wash my rice. So I have probably about like 2 cups of rice in here. So you're going to wash your rice like what I'm doing. I'm just washing it. And then basically I usually wash my rice probably like 3 to 4 times, just to get as much of the starch off of the rice, or just to, you know, we call it clean it. But some people that don't wash their rice, whatever floats your boat. Me, that's how I was taught how to cook, to wash my rice. When I went to culinary school, they say don't wash your rice, but you know, again, it depends on what kind of rice you're making. Like if I'm making risotto, I wouldn't wash my rice, but you know, this I'm just making some regular rice. Alright, so I just washed my rice, and now I'm going to pour off the water. So I washed my rice a few times. What kind of rice am I using? I'm using, it says parboiled rice. That's the rice I like to use. If you're going to use any rice, I suggest using parboiled rice. To me, it cooks better, and it's easier, and it's less mushy, chance of being mushy. Alright, so now let's go over to the stove. Alright, so I have my water boiling with my seasoning and my butter, and now I'm going to take my rice that's here. So make sure when you add it in, you like dip the rice, the bowl or container that you're using in as much so it don't splash up. So basically what I'm trying to say is dip the container into the water kind of, so that the rice kind of slides in and it doesn't splash back up at you if you're too far away. Like if you're up here and you're trying to drop it in, it's gonna splash all over the place. Alright, anyway, so I did that. So now here's the most important part. This is the part that I learned when I was in culinary school, because prior to that, did I cook rice? Yes, but sometimes my rice would come out mushy. It was just like I didn't know what to do. Like sometimes it would just come out mushy and I never understood why, and it was annoying. So anyway, one of my classmates that's an international student, she taught me this trick. She's from Puerto Rico, so I guess she's not really international, but she was born and raised in Puerto Rico, and she told me this is the trick to make sure that your rice is not ever overcooked. So you see your finger, let me focus this on my finger. Alright, so you see my finger, you're gonna stick your finger into the pot, and I know you're like, but it's just hot water, it's not that hot. And you're gonna put your finger into the pot, and when you put your finger into the pot and touch the rice, you have to put your finger into the water to the point that you can fill the rice. When you fill the rice, the water should not raise more over than this line on your index finger. And I know you gotta like, what type of sorcery is this? It works, trust me. And when it happens, you can thank me later. So I'm gonna stick my finger in, and you're not, let me unfocus it so it focuses on the pot. You're not gonna leave your finger in there, but you just literally dip your finger in quick. And I know the first time she taught me this, I was like, what the hell? But you're gonna stick your finger in quick. And then that's the rice I have, the amount of water I have in there is perfect. So you can see, let me show you guys. You can see the moisture on my finger, that the water only came up to here. I'm gonna show you guys this again. You're gonna take your finger, you're gonna dip it in quickly, and you're gonna see that it comes up to here. Perfect. So let me just focus in on my finger so you guys can see. So now I know that it's the perfect amount of water. It should be up to here. Mine, you can see the moisture is a little over the line, but that's fine. If you put your finger in and the water comes all the way over here, and you touch the rice, too much water. So now we're gonna let this cook. I'm gonna stir it and season it. Let me focus it, sorry. So I'm gonna stir this, and I'm gonna cover it. And you're gonna see how perfect my rice comes out. And this trick, I've been using this since I don't know how long, and I've never ever had a problem. I've never had a problem with my rice coming out overcooked. So I'm gonna put my heat on medium low, and we're good to go. I'll see you guys with the finished product. Alright, so this is like the halfway point. You can see there's still water in the rice, but I like to stir it. So this will probably like after like, I think like 10 minutes. But when you see the rice like this, you can just give it a stir. So this is something else I learned. Well, when I was in culinary school, they say you're not supposed to stir the rice. You can stir rice. Like, anyway. But, so this is good. So when it gets like this, then you want to turn your heat down. I'm going to put my heat down on like a low. And then let it finish cook. Because before, I didn't have the whole thing covered. I had to pop the lid kind of like this. But now you could cover it, because now you don't have to worry about the water over boiling, and you can see your rice is almost there. So just show you guys how I have my fire. It's on like a low. I have it like on, if you have dial numbers on your range, it's like on a 2. So I'm gonna keep it on like 2. Yeah, like a 2 or low. This is low, so it could stay on low. Leave it on low. All right, especially if this is like you're not that good at cooking rice, just keep it on low. Better safe than sorry. So I'm gonna be back with the final product. Alright guys, so here's the final product of the rice. Hope you guys can see it. Basically what I did now is I took a fork and I fluffed it. And that's pretty much it. That's how you make rice. It's not hard at all. It's nice and it's fluffy, it's buttery, it's seasoned. And I'm gonna eat this with some curry goat that I just made. So if you guys want to see that recipe, you can see that too. But this is the rice. I got a little one waiting to eat. I don't know if you guys can hear her in the background, but she wants her food. So you guys know what to do. Comment, like, subscribe. And guess what? Now you know how to make the perfect rice. See you guys next time.